Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and this is the Caterham Super 7. I am so excited to drive this car. It's been a childhood dream of mine to not only drive one, but own one. I think I will after this, but man, oh man, is this the definition of motoring and driving pleasure. The story behind the 7 is that Colin Chapman of Lotus developed this car to go racing, to be light, to be fun, to do the thing, and at some point he decided Lotus needed to go more into like actual motor vehicles that didn't look like this. So he sold the rights of the car to Caterham, and Caterham bought it up. And since 1973, I want to say, I'll put a correction if I'm wrong. They've been building these cars, and yeah, they've come a long way. And today you can still buy them new as kits, and they come in all sorts of crazy varieties. But this car really kind of embodies what it's all about. It weighs 1,350 pounds, so it's super lightweight. We have a 1,700cc engine under this bonnet, which comes off. There's twin carburetors mounted to this Ford Supersprint motor, and Caterham has hotted it up with a cam. Yes, it's a single pushrod cam. It's got stiffened springs and larger valves. When we get on the road, you'll hear it has no problem clearing its throat. But as you'll notice, there's no frills here. It certainly is simple and light. And that's the whole Lotus principle. That's the whole Caterham principle. But they just made do with what they had. It's a very simple concept. And I love the way this side pipe comes around. And in an effort to keep it light, this has a Didion rear axle. So it's a dead axle, but even though these rear wheels basically have no camber to them, they're neutral, straight up and down, they do move together, although that differential is chassis mounted. It is not part of the axle. That allows them to remove a whole bunch of unsprung weight and keep it light and still fit to drive around the track. But it is still functional as a road car. In fact, you've still got storage back here. So, you know, there's actually a roof that goes on this with some leather doors with some plastic that allow you to actually seal up the cabin. You can, I mean, to some degree. You're still gonna get a little wet if it's raining. But right now, we've got these little guys on the side to help with a little bit of wind deflection, and it's gonna get windy in here. The cockpit is ultra simple. You've got a seat. It does move forward and back, thankfully, for my short legs, and we've got this really tight little pedal box down here. Yeah, let's hop in and take it for a drive. I just want to drive. Getting in is pretty easy, actually. Just use this roll bar and take your seat. There is a parking brake under here. You're going to want to put that forward before you belt in, or you're probably not going to be able to reach it. Definitely want to clear those carbs out a little bit. All right, it's going to be a windy ride, so we've got to put the earmuffs on for this one. And the exhaust, as you can see, comes out right here. So, yeah. Is direct. I mean, obviously there's no power assist here. The pedal box is tight, so you've got to be aware, because you will get yourself tripped up touching your feet together when you're on the clutch and the brake, or near them at the same time. What's most interesting about the way this is set up is where your arms sit, because I've got my left arm basically outside of the car while I'm steering. I've got my right arm sat right on the tunnel down here. And this gearbox, it's so precise, it's so tight, it honestly looks like you wouldn't be able to function in this cabin, but you have all the room you need. And even though there's a tight suspension, you still get a lot of body roll, which is nice, because it helps you feel out where the car is and maybe where the edge of grip is going to be. And this cable throttle is just perfect. because the open wheel design lets you place those front wheels right where you want them. There's no question. If you hit an apex or if you're near the line, you can see it. It's right there. Capable. I mean, I'm on pretty normal street tires right now. I can't imagine what it would be like if you put some, 205 Hoosiers on this thing. It would just grip forever. Oh, I want to drive this on a racetrack. I need one. Of everything I've driven in the last year, I need this. I'm not sure I've ever been happier behind the wheel of a car. All right, I'd love to take you on the highway, but this hat is not going to stay on. Limited by how fast I can go before my hat flies off. Hey, puppy. I've never been happier. Oh, I can feel the heat in the transmission tunnel. I mean, you are nothing but connected to this vehicle in every way. The occasional leaf comes through the cabin while you're driving. You think you're losing something. It's just the outside world being part of your experience. Oh, it's the best. Oh, it's the best. All right, so the real beauty of these kind of cars is that you feel everything in real time. There's nothing damping the driving experience between the road and you and the seat of your pants. I mean, I'm sitting right on top of these rear wheels. I can see the front wheels turning. I can see where that wheel is placed on the white line. I can drive these narrow roads. I can look over here and I can see the tire. I mean, granted, that means if there's gravel, it's gonna come up and bop me in the face. Nice and slow past the cyclist. We want everybody to be safe and enjoy their times on public motorways. That's what it's all about. Even though it's pretty stiff, it does a great job handling the bumps. I mean, the car's not unsettled at all. A big bootful for those brakes, that's for sure. No power assist there, no ABS either. Do I want more power? No, I'm good. Woo! Forget everything. Buy a Caterham 7. It's so responsive, this throttle. It listens to everything you ask for. Modulation is just bang on. You don't have to think, you just drive. It's like a go-kart. You can't believe what's happening when you're driving it. Oh my God, my voice is gonna go up 10 octaves a million times during this video. And you know you're driving a good car when you don't even look at the gauges. I'm not even looking at the tach. I can feel it. I can hear it. I know what's going on. I don't need to ask any questions with these gauges. All I want to know is that I got fuel and that my temps aren't too high. There's one thing I can promise you when you're driving a Caterham. Nobody's having as much fun as you. You can't. This is the best. This is sublime motoring. Thank you to the owner for sharing this experience with me. I mean, it's just unmatched. Maybe he's a Caterham salesman. Maybe this is just a plant. Maybe he's just trying to get me to buy a car, but holy shit, it worked. We're not dealing with a lot of power here either, but the way it's delivered, because it's so light, it's just incredible. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one. And don't burn yourself on the side pipe when you get out of your Caterham. Holy cow. Massive thank you to the Patreon supporters who make this content possible. Without you, this doesn't happen. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I gotta buy a car. I don't want to give it back. I want to drive it forever. Are you familiar with Frog and Toad? Did your parents read Frog and Toad to you as a kid? Mine did. And Toad drove a little speedster. And I think this is what it was like. Oh my God.